All right, welcome to the Be Free Blading Academy. This is a course that's going to educate you about the fundamentals of rollerblading, everything from the skate, how it works, all the way up to learning how to do tricks. Either you're learning how to skate from A to B, or you're learning how to drop in on half pipes and grind rails, jumping ramps, spinning, grinding, all those different techniques that you're going to learn within this course. Thank you for joining. My name is Brian Freeman, and this is the Be Free Blading Academy. So the first thing that we're going to talk about today is going to be the actual skate. Now, for me personally, I'm an aggressive skater, so I do aggressive skating, meaning grinding on rails, skating skate parks, street spots, different things of that nature, whether it be a rail, a ledge, a stair set, a down rail that's down a stair set. There's multiple different ways that you can express your skating through the elements. So in this course, we're going to talk about being able to start from the ground up, and you'll be able to work on your fundamentals from being able to put on the skate all the way to rolling and everything else after that. So I hope you enjoy. Let's get this started. So we're going to talk about two different styles of skating. There's also one more that I don't have right now, the quad skates as well. That'd be the two wheels in the front, two wheels in the back. That was more of the foundation for all kind of skating because that was the first skate. Nowadays we have inline skates where everything is on these blades, on these edges. So the first one that we're going to talk about is the aggressive skate. Now, majority of these kind of skates are meant for doing grinds and tricks. So for instance, this P-rail, you're able to grind and lock on to doing different positions on your skate. As you're learning to grind on different parts of the skate, you learn about the sole plate, the sole plate that carries the frame onto the bottom of the skate. That will help you lock onto the trick. The H-block, which is the frame that's attached to the skate, will help you balance on doing your frames. We call this an H-block because it's kind of in the shape of an H, and it's able to let you know exactly where to lock on the frame. Now, the setup of the wheels, that's a different story. Now, sometimes you can have the wheel that's in the front be the same size all the way through. On this particular skate, it has two wheels in the middle that are a little bit smaller than the outside wheels. Those are called anti-rocker wheels. The anti-rocker wheels are kind of a little net to let you know exactly where you're going to lock in. Now, there are different styles. You can ride all flat, meaning all the same size. That means certain tricks will be a little bit different because you will have a bigger wheel ratio to the frame. So if you like going fast, definitely a all flat setup is a great idea. If you can get all flat of the same size wheels, you can do that. But for myself, my preference would be the anti-rocker wheels in the middle. I don't necessarily use these particular skates for going from A to B, but if I did, I would definitely put the all flat setup on there so I can have a longer lasting skate. You will learn about trying to rotate your wheels after you've been skating them for a long time. Now the boot. This is the whole boot. This is the part that your foot goes inside, which is the liner. That is on some skates, the liner is detachable, meaning that you could take the liner out and make it come out. Okay? So you could exchange these every now and then. If your skate starts to feel a little loose or not as tight and secure, then that might be a sign that you may need new liners. Now, some skates, the liners do not come out. That means you may have to get a whole new skate, but the more that you start realizing the different things in skating, you'll be able to do that. So we'll go ahead and put that back in there. Okay, now that is the liner in the actual boot. Now, the buckle. There is a strap that goes across the ankle that you want to buckle in and make sure it's nice and tight. You're going to lift up on the outside teeth of it and push it in, and then clamp down to make that snap in there after you've done tying your shoelaces pretty tight. Now personally, I would like to have my skates pretty tight as far as the flexibility of them. You don't want them to be too loose, and you don't want them to be super tight where you can't flex and it hurts. Now remember, if you do get a pair of skates for the first time, it will take a few months for the skate to break in. Now the more that you are skating, that will create the plastic and the liner inside to mold to your foot. So the more that you skate around, it gets sweaty in there, it opens up and it gets formed to your foot. That's how it will loosen up. Now, you have to be patient in that. Sometimes that is something that will, it could take longer than others. It just depends on how much you're skating. So that is the aggressive skate, from the boot, from the frame, the wheels, and also the cuff. That is a part that you can loosen or change. Now in the cuff, that is this part right here that protects the ankle. Now you can exchange these cuffs out and put different colors on. You can customize your skate. That's one of the best things about the actual blade, is that you can change anything out. You can make it how you want. You want some red frames, go ahead and put some red frames on there. You want some white sole plates, get some white sole plates. You want a different color boot, get a different color boot. You can mix, match everything that you possibly can think of with your skate and make it 100% customizable to what your needs are. So this is the aggressive skate. We're gonna go a little bit more about this in a little while. Now, the second skate. This is more so for that A to B transportation. If you're learning how to go fast and want to control your speed, and you're trying to also get a workout, this is a great way to do that. And you're also going to be able to learn from the skills that you learn with your aggressive skates to be able to translate that over to your freestyle skates. These are not meant for grinding. I mean, you can grind them, but they're not designed to do that, like the aggressive skate, where it has a place for the sole plate to grind. Now, if you notice, there's an extra layer right here. That is the sole plate. On these skates, they do not have that. The more that you start getting comfortable with bigger size wheels, these wheels are 110 millimeters. So 110 millimeter wheel, that's pretty big. Majority of the time on a regular size skate, it's gonna be around 57 to all the way up to like 60 millimeters, even further up to 80, depending on what size frame that you have that you can put the different size wheels on. So if you have a standard size frame that's for normal aggressive skates, I think the biggest size it goes up to is maybe a 60 millimeter or a 58 millimeter wheel. Now, when you're looking at wheels, you're gonna look at, there's two numbers. There will be one number that says the millimeter, meaning the size of the wheel. This will be 110 millimeters. The second number will be the hardness. So for this particular skate, this would be a size 58 millimeter wheel with a 90A hardness. Now the 90A hardness, that means how hard the urethane is on the wheel. Now some skates, they want to have a lower number hardness, so you can have softer wheels if you're doing, skating rinks or something like that. Harder wheels would be more like for the street, and you want to be more grounded. The different sizes and the urethane hardness, that is a really important thing as you keep going. Now this skate is perfect for going A to B. This is your fast skate. If you notice, look at the ratio of how far away the boot, meaning the boot, is far away from the ground. So the height of the ground means you're gonna have a lot more flex getting to the bottom of the ground. So you wanna be very careful. This is a lot different than it is with this skate. The flex is gonna be something we're gonna be talking about in the course as well, but this is so you can kind of understand how high you are off the ground and how important it is to realize that, okay? Now, as you are progressing in your skating, you'll be able to mix and match and do different kind of skating, whether you're just doing aggressive skating or you're just doing just the fast A to B fitness skating, right? Now, as the course goes, we will talk about all those fundamentals and how you can use them to your advantage. Now, the first thing, understanding the skate. We're gonna first talk about how to put them on. Now, make sure too that you do have your safety protection gear. This is something that you wanna be very, very respectful about. We only have one body, so you wanna make sure you're protecting that. Your brain is very important too, so make sure you rock a helmet when you're trying to practice your skating. If you don't have a means of doing that, try to practice in places that are very safe. If you have, whether it's workout mats that are something that's very soft to work on, that is a very valuable thing. Majority of the things that we're going to talk about in this class is being safe and being smart as you're doing and you're learning. So for the first thing, let's talk about some of the safety gear. Now, one thing I definitely recommend is the helmet. This helmet is by ProTech. This is a great company. You should definitely check them out. You can buy affordable helmets and be able to protect yourself, because it's the longevity that matters. It's not about what you look like, it's about being smart, okay? Now, the helmet is a really good thing. That is something that everybody, I think, especially if you're just learning, even if you're not learning, everything happens. So you want to make sure that you are protect it. Also, knee pads, elbow pads, all these things are super important that you want to be able to add on to your skating, especially if you're just starting. Now, you have the knee pads. Okay, you want to make sure that you are strapping them on correctly, meaning that the hard plastic is on front. Also, wrist guards too are another good one that you need to have if you are just beginning as well. You don't want to get in a situation where you're falling and you're hurting your wrist. We're going to practice all these falling techniques as well. Now the knee pad, that's going to be a really good one. Also your elbow pad, making sure that the plastic is on the outside. Placing your elbow out and wrapping it around. If you have someone else to help you do it, that is also great too. If you don't, it's a good way to practice doing it by yourself. Okay? So making sure that you have your elbow pads and your knee pads on to be able to practice your falling. That is a great way to start. All right, so I got my pads on, knee pads, and now my helmet. All right, so now we're rocking everything that we need. Now, as you are getting comfortable with your knee pads and elbow pads, get comfortable seeing what it feels like to be on them. It is very important to understand that you're gonna have to be able to use these forms when you have your knee pads and helmet on, okay? Safety first.